All right, so Wednesday's workout, hang power snatches, double unders. Have the athletes start by grabbing a PVC stick, let them put it on the back of their shoulders and go wide. We're just going to do about 30 seconds of spine twist. Not a lot of coaching here. Allow you to have some opportunity to make some small talk. Watching your watch, try to let it go over 30 seconds. Now, once they finish, get them to put their feet underneath their hips, let them turn their toes out to open up the hips. First thing we want to cue them on is going ahead and squeezing the belly. So I cued them on taking the rib cage, squeezing it down into the front pockets, elbows down towards the floor, getting them to move the bar into that overhead position that we're going to see for the hang snatches. Cued them up and down, looking at the movement from the side. We get to see that midline tight, ribs are tucked, elbows are dropped down towards the floor, and we are pressing that bar straight up over the shoulders. I even gave the cue of see if you can get the bar to lightly brush the back of your head on the way up and on the way down. I had the athletes do that for about 15 to 20 seconds, just watching the timer. Now, next, what we went ahead and did was we set the sticks down to the ground. We started getting into a little bit of groundwork, getting that spine loose, told them to keep the sticks close. So first thing we're going to do is alternating V-up. So right hand goes to left foot, left hand to right foot, 30 seconds. Told them not to go fast. Priority would be to make sure that we can get into the V shape. The hardest part about V-ups is making sure that we get the torso off the floor, and that's where we get the feet to meet. So make sure that there's priority on watching the torso, give you a little bit of cueing, coaching for the athletes, getting that torso up off the ground. Now, the next move, looking at it from the front, we're going to go with a wide sit. So toes are going to face straight up. Just have them reach as far as they can right now. And then from here, you're going to have them roll back, if they can, touching their feet above the head and then touching the floor. Looking at this from the side. Go back, legs, finish with the split and reach. Give them 10 reps. Tell them there's not a priority on really getting the feet back to touch the floor above the head. Just more so getting the spine to move and just getting a little bit of dynamic movement there. Now, next what we did was we set with the feet straight in front of us. Legs are not locked, but they are straight. We're now going to have the hands a little bit more narrow, so just outside of the shoulders. You can even give the cue of take your thumbs and just lightly brush your shoulders. Sit with the chest tall. If you had a name tag, I should be able to read it. Elbows are tucked under the bar. Again, we're going to press up, seeing if we can lightly brush the back of the head every rep. Just making sure that we are opening up the shoulders, getting them ready for the snatches. And then from there, we go back with the wide grip. Want to sit with the legs locked, and then we're going to get some more twist. Again, doing this for about 20 to 30 seconds. Just looking at where your time is on your clock. Right, if you got 30 seconds, use it. Keep the athletes just moving. If their feet kind of move forward and backwards, if you can see mine, that's okay. All right, so again, 20, 30 seconds of those twists. We're going to get them to come back up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the stick on the floor, start getting them ready for double under work. So we're just going to get them jumping so the hands can be on the hips or just dangling. Now, we want them to make sure that they have a very soft bend to the knee, and we're very quick hopping off the ground. So just getting them to hop for 30 seconds. The goal here is to get the feet off the ground. We're not looking for a lot of height, just getting that bounding mechanics warmed up. Again, we're just doing this for 30 seconds. Now, once we move from that, then we're going to start looking at getting those hips extended. So I told the athletes we're going to get into the iconic resting position. So feet are about shoulder width apart. We're going to place the hands on the knees, making sure that we keep our bellies tight from here, looking at it from the front. I'm just going to focus on a jump off the ground. Right back down. Looking at it from the side, give the athletes some direction. Tell them to look at your hips. Watch how when you stand up, how your hips are locked out. The goal when you jump is for them to see that the hips get locked out at the top of the jump. So giving you 2 more reps here. Jump, land, and then reset. Okay? So had the athletes do 5 reps of those jump and lands, but I cued each and every rep so I could see them pressing the hips back, cue them on when they weren't keeping the bellies tight, and really isolate my eyes on hip extension. Now, next thing we did we went ahead and established our snatch grip with the PVC. So I had them put their feet in their athletic stance under the hips. Go ahead and have your hands just outside of the hips. And then we slowly walked the hands out until the bar got to the belt line on our hips. So right where you would put a belt on on your pants, making sure the hands can be fully wrapped around. We don't want the pinkies dangling off. From here, we just rehearsed how to do a good snatch. So I told them we're going to drive the elbows up, and then we're going to reach that bar over the position that we were pressing before. Now, working on coming down, I had them go to their nose, quickly flip to the hips to reset. I said up, they pulled it up their shirt, straight back up and stacked it over the shoulders, went to the nose, came back down to the hips. Looking at it from the side, we get to get a visual on if they're keeping the bar in the vertical plane when they pull up, or if they're leaving it out in front. So tell the athletes to pull the bar straight up the shirt and then drive it nice and high over where we are pressing it to give them that feedback. Okay. Now, had them do about 5, maybe 8 reps, and I called each one of the reps up, down, made sure to always give the cue on the way back down, bring it to the nose, and flip it to the hip, so that was something that we became more consistent with across just this part of the warm-up. Now, once we did that, we started to add the jump and those mechanics back. So we started doing hang power snatches, but I did not let the athletes know that we were doing hang power snatches. I just let them know that we were going to do the jump with the focus on opening up the hips, and we were going to pull the bar up the same way that we just did. So calling 5 reps, I had them get back into that grip, slide down into that resting position, and then I told them to jump, focus on opening the hips and pulling the bar after the jump. Then we stood up, had them bring the feet in, nose, hips, look at it from the side. Want to just get them to focus on opening up the hips. So when I'm showing this again, watch my hips is what I was telling the athletes. Go down and then come up. Stand right back down, nose, hips. Reach those hips back and go. Nose, hips, and just rehearsed them all the way through that. Now, after I went through that phase of the warm-up, told them to put their PVCs up, go grab the jump rope. We went ahead and went through a jump rope progression. So I had them do 30 seconds of singles, thinking about bouncing off of those toes like we did before. And then I had them do 15 seconds of high jump singles. And then I showed them there's not a big difference in going from that high jump single to doing a double under, where we worked on double under practice for 90 seconds. After that double under practice, we grabbed barbells. We went back to the movement that I just showed you, which was a hang power snatch. I had the athletes do 5 reps. And then with the time that I had left over, I had them do 2 sets of 5, building in weight through those 2 sets, and then 2 sets of 3, again, building for those next 2 sets into a heavier loading, possibly going heavier than what was in the workout. After that, we talked about scaling, and I asked the athletes if they need to go to the bathroom, and then we started the workout from there. Okay? So review this warm-up, go through it, slow down when you're coaching, make sure that you have directional cues, watch my hips, watch the bar, keep the bar over the shoulders, right? Give them direction to your coaching so that they can lay their eyes on something, and then for you have something to look at when you're coaching them. All right? So have fun with this one, girl.